What's up? What's up? What's up, people? If you can hear me and if you can see me, there we are. If you can hear me and if you can see me, give me a let's go in the chat right now. What's up? What's up, people? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, lots of Spartans in the house. Arnav, let's go. Sankalp, Jajodia, Gaurav Bakshi, Nikhil Sule, Suryansh, Srujan. Wow, it's like lots of people, lots of Spartans here. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Happy Saturday. I appreciate that you guys are here on YouTube instead of like doing other things on Saturday night. So that's awesome. Good to see you guys. Who else is here? Who else is here? Okay. So we have a lot of ground to cover, right? We have tons of ground to cover, and we have a special guest appearance from the one and only Joshua Jabadurai, who is our programming rock star. He's the lead mentor of Gamer to Make for programming. He's going to be coming on, and we also have a guest appearance from Jiku. Jiku is the lead designer of Nukebox Studios, and he's actually the mentor in Gamer to Maker for free to play. And he's also going to make an appearance and talk about portfolios. So it's going to be an action-packed 1 hour at least, maybe more. I don't know. So stay tuned. Okay, also, guys, I'm going to put the banner here for... Yes. So the Discord server. Okay, so the Discord server, if anything goes wrong, if the internet craps out or something like that, we will be able to still continue. You'll get notifications on Discord. So make sure that you guys join the Discord as well, because that's going to be kind of like a backup for messages, etc. Something goes wrong. All right, so who else is here? Ashwin, Bruno, Schreiber, Om Mani Tripathi, Anurag Thakur. Hello from Slovakia, Bruno. Monotosh, Spandon, Steven, Madhan, David. What am I doing? All right. Okay. Okay. So let's get started, guys. Let's get started. Okay. I have a lot of ground to cover, so I don't want to waste time. Let's get really into the topic that everybody is here for. Okay. Let me share my screen and let us get started. Let me turn this banner off first. Okay. Also, Instagram, follow me on Instagram, guys. All the links are there, so follow me if you want like daily updates, you want daily memes on game development, information, lots of cool stuff, infotainment, tips, tricks, hacks on game development. Follow me on Instagram. Okay. All right, I'm gonna hide that, and then I'm gonna start. Okay, give me a second. I need to send the invites out to the guests. So give me a second for that. Ideally, I should have done that before. Right. All right. Okay. So let me share my screen now. So tell me where you guys are from. I mean, if you're from Gamer to Maker, I know where you're from. Okay. But if you're not from G2M, uh, so today's session is going to be art, programming, and design. All this stuff. All this stuff. Okay. Um, let me let me share my screen. Give me a second. All right. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Okay. So this is about game portfolios, guys. The next 1 hour, I'm going to be giving you some very, very specific and pointed information about how to build up your own game portfolio. Okay. Now, here's the deal. How do I know this stuff? Because, well, fundamentally, I started off making my own portfolio back in like 2008 when I was at Vancouver Film School. And after that, I have been working as mostly in a position where I actually hire people for my own studio and the studio I work for. So, in a big, big way, I've been looking at a lot of portfolios. And also in Gamer to Maker, our focus, the whole point of joining Gamer to Maker is to actually build your portfolio. Gamer to Maker is a place where you don't just join to get a fancy degree or a certificate. You join G2M because you want to get a job or you want to start your own studio. You want to actually learn how to make games. Okay, that's the whole point. Right. So, what are your takeaways going to be from today? I'm going to be talking about the best practices to create a portfolio that gets you hired. I'm going to be talking about what game studios are looking for in a game dev portfolio, right? I'm going to be talking about the best websites and tools to use for making portfolios. I'm going to be talking about examples and deconstruction of good portfolios. I'm going to be talking about feedback given on selected audience portfolios. Okay. So what I'm going to, if there is time, I'm going to have a few portfolios from you guys. So you can post that in Discord. Join Discord, and in Gamer to Maker, you have a portfolios for feedback channel in career. There is a career heading where you have portfolios of feedback. Please put your portfolios there, and I will pick a few to actually give feedback at the end. So the link to the Discord is there in the description of this video. Join the Discord and post your portfolio links in the channel on the Discord server. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Okay, so who am I? For those of you who do not know me, I am the founder of Roach Interactive, which is a consulting and game studio company, and also the founder of Gamer2Maker.com. Gamer2Maker.com is a 100%, for now, 100% online game school. Okay, right. So fundamentally, let's get into it. What exactly is a portfolio? Right. That's a very, very important question. What is a portfolio anyway? Very, very important question because A lot of people, I feel, do not actually understand what a portfolio is. It's some people think they have, some people think giving a Instagram link is your portfolio, and the truth is that it's not. Okay, so let's get into it. So what exactly is a portfolio? A portfolio is a website where people can see your professional game dev skills. Okay, that's what a portfolio essentially is. It's online. There is no doubt about that, guys. By the way, is this feed kind of like a little bit kind of blurry and pixelated? If that is the case, do let me know in the chat. It's possible my settings may be off. So if you're finding the feed a bit blurry and not so good, do let me know. I don't know if I can change the settings live. um Anyway, okay. It looks fine. All right. Okay. And then I have a tablet here. It's looking a bit blurry. Okay. So basically, it's a website where people can see your professional game design skills. Okay. All right. Um. Right. Oh, get back into it. Okay. Now, the next question is, what's the use of portfolio? Right. Now, you may ask that, why create a portfolio? Isn't it good enough to just have a good diploma or degree from a game school or a game college or something like that? Right. Why make a portfolio? See, because making a portfolio takes time. It takes a lot of effort. It may even cost money. Right. So what's the point of a portfolio? It takes a lot of effort. And what if you don't have one, and if you just have a good diploma or you have a degree and you make a CV and you make a LinkedIn page? Now that's a very good question, because yes, there are people who have portfolios, who don't have portfolios and get jobs. But remember one thing, when you're talking about diplomas and degrees in the game industry, a diploma degree is equal to toilet paper. It has absolutely no value. Nobody is going to give you a job in the game industry on the basis of your degree, right? Now, the interesting thing is that in India, especially, to break into the game industry, right, get an entry level job, you actually do need a degree. Okay. But you just have to be a graduate. They don't care if you are from MIT, or you've done like design course, or you've done an art course, or you've done a programming course, or you've done BTech or CSE or psychology or gender studies. Like, no one cares. As long as you are a graduate, you tick the mark that you're a graduate, you'll get that job. You have to prove your skills. Okay, you have to prove your skills, people, and skills are proven with a portfolio, right? So do you really need a portfolio to get a game dev job? That's another question. you know do I need to I can just make a resume, right, with some nice links and some, some GitHub links, etc., and I can get a job. And that's true, right? You could get a job. There are a lot of people who get jobs with just a resume. However, those are low end jobs. Right. Now, if that's the kind of job you want, if you want to spend years earning like 10, 15, 20,000 rupees a month, then that's fine. Don't make a portfolio. Don't put the effort into making a portfolio. However, if you want to make good money, if you want a good starting salary, you want to make like, 50, 60,000 rupees a month starting off. If you want to earn 7 to 10 lakh rupees, you should have a portfolio. Okay. If you want to get a good job, a high end job, a good starting salary, and make a strong start, you definitely need to have a portfolio. Okay. So, what are the advantages of a good portfolio? I'll tell you, preferably a good one. Firstly, readily in one snap, you can show your skills to people pre interview. So, even before you get an interview, they know what skills you have, they know about you. right? That's very, very important. You go into the interview with them already knowing what you are, what skills you have. Okay. After that, you kind of just have to close the deal. You have to just close the deal. Like you're already winning the match. You just like you just have to score 3 runs in the final over to win the match if they call you with a good portfolio. Otherwise, you have to score like 18 runs in the last over. Okay, to use a bad cricketing analogy. That's the advantage. Now, companies have a much better impression of you. Look, if you just have a resume, with like, oh, this is my experience, blah blah blah, they'll be like, okay, fine, whatever. But if you have a proper portfolio, they will have a much better impression of you, because obviously you've taken the time. They can see you're serious about your job, you're serious about your skill, your craft. You've taken the time to actually build a portfolio. Okay, that automatically creates a good impression, right? And of course, you get a higher salary and a better designation if you have a good portfolio. That's absolutely proven, right? Your chances of getting a higher salary and better designation to start with, like, you can start off as an intern with a resume. It's possible that if you have a decent portfolio, you may start off as an associate game designer, associate game developer, associate game artist, or whatever, or even a junior game artist, right? As an entry level, which gives you a higher salary. Now, remember, a portfolio is a lifelong professional investment. It's not that you're going to build a portfolio and then you're going to get an entry level job and that's it. You're not going to use it after that. That is not the case. You are going to be, I'll show you, right? I'll show you Jiku's portfolio. He's got like 8-10 years of experience as a lead designer, and he still keeps updating his portfolio because that's what it is. It's a lifelong investment, right? Even as creative director, you're going to need your portfolio to actually show to people. Okay, and of course, it adds value to your personal brand. Your personal brand is who you are on the internet. Now, guys, who you are on the internet is literally like money in the bank. Okay, if you have some weird if you had some weird kind of like name and some funny profile picture, some emo picture, randomly, your professional profile will suffer, right? You're not kids anymore. You're looking to be professionals, so have build your personal brand properly. Okay, and part of that is having a good strong portfolio. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some common portfolio mistakes that a lot of people make. I've seen this a lot, and I'm going to talk about them now. Okay, that firstly, no portfolio link in the resume. Now, this is really, really irritating for people who see a resume, because what happens is that you get a resume, right? And then inside that, they've put their portfolio, but there's no link. So you have to like actually look at it, and you have to open another browser window, and you have to actually freaking type out the whole name, right? And imagine somebody has like a common, um, Venkata Subramaniam kind of name. Imagine how long it takes to type that name into your browser. People are not going to do that. People are just going to be like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going on to the next resume. Okay. So make sure you have a link in your resume where you can just click and people can directly go to your portfolio. Don't just like write it out in your resume. I see people do that a lot, and those people's resumes, those people's portfolios don't get seen. Another mistake that I've seen is Google Drive portfolio. That is really irritating. People just like upload stuff to Google Drive and they say, okay, that's my portfolio. Okay, technically it is a portfolio, but it's not a nice portfolio. Create a website, guys. Like, come on, you're joining the game industry, put in the effort to actually create a ArtStation page or H.io page or a Wix page. Okay, we'll be talking more about that. We'll be talking more about like what tools to use, which websites to use. We'll be talking about that. Okay. Also, some people make a mistake. They're making it too personal. They talk about, oh, I'm passionate since I'm 7 years old. I'm playing games and I've done this and I'm so and this, I'm that. People don't care. Okay. People don't care about like how your childhood and like how passionate you are about transforming the game industry in India and making India the next gaming superpower. And like, no, like don't put that stuff in your portfolio. Just be like, I'm an aspiring game developer. I'll show you some of that. Okay, Don't get too don't become what I call emo boy 69. Like, don't go there. Okay. Right. Also, like, bad formatting and presentation. I've seen some portfolios with horrible colors and fonts and stuff, and they just put me off. Okay, I look at them, I'm like, no. This portfolio hurts my eyes. It just, no, because see, there are so many people out there with good portfolios. You got to make sure that you don't mess this up. Okay, once again, I'm going to be showing you some really nice portfolios, even from some gamer to maker students. Okay, and also a common mistake is to no links to sites. Some people will create a portfolio and there's no link to your LinkedIn, there's nothing to your GitHub, there's nothing to your, your ArtStation or whatever. And that's also a mistake. And too static. Like, ideally you want some, especially if you have some games, you want gifs, you want videos, like, you want that stuff. You want the page to look dynamic, right? You don't want it to be too static. Okay. Right. So let's get right into it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now, and I am going to show you some portfolios. Okay. Okay. Also, let me catch up on some comments. Let me catch up on some comments. Right. Okay. So let's look at some portfolios, shall we? First off, let me hang on a second. Let me actually send this. Uh, let me invite Ash onto um, onto the show, and let me share my screen. Okay, so first I am going to show you Jiku's portfolio. Okay, Jiku is kind of like a, what can I say, god level portfolio. You might even be a little, I don't know, um, intimidated by it, but that's fine. Give me a second. Hang on a second. I need to find. Okay, let me just go to his yeah, let me share his page, his LinkedIn page profile first. All right. Can you see Jiku's LinkedIn page? Right here. So this is Jiku. Now, who is Jiku? Jiku is the lead designer of Nukebox, and he is the free-to-play mentor for uh, for Gamer to Maker. He's really cool guy, and you'll be seeing a video from him shortly. Okay, so this is LinkedIn page, and what he's done is he actually put his resume right here. You can just go over here, and you can just like download his resume, and I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna download his resume, and if you guys can see my screen, let me know. Yeah. All right. So this is Jiku's resume. Okay. And as you can see, very, very cool, really nice. And here, right here, you have website. Click here. Can you see website? Click here. So it's just like boom. Okay. Now, straight from his resume, you have gone to his website. That's what you're supposed to do. Straight to the website. And can you see over here a little bit about himself? Jiku Ben Poten, mover, shaker, creator. Can you see about very short, a nice picture of him from IGDC. Big thanks to my elder brother. The first day I played Contra, I had the opportunity to collaborate on a number of incredible projects. So I feel free to browse my portfolio. So this is really cool. Okay, Jiku has like talked a little bit about himself, a little bit about his origins, a nice picture of him, and he's saying that I've had the opportunity to work on some projects, that I'm pleased to share. Feel free to browse to my portfolio, all of which I contribute to game design, and do get in touch if you're a project man you would like to explore together. So very, very cool, guys. Very, very cool. So This is you can go to Jiku's LinkedIn, add him on LinkedIn. He's super cool. And like if you join Gamer to Maker, he will teach you. Like there's a awesome free to play game design masterclass that Jiku holds. You will have access to it in Gamer to Maker. And these are the games that he has made, right? Can you see over here each, and can you see what's so cool is that it's not just like a boring layout. Look at the layout he's got, man. It's so damn cool. It's so cool, right? You can click on each one of his games, and that's it. You go straight to Google Play, right? What else can I say? You go straight to Google Play. You can watch a trailer. You can watch this stuff here. Okay. Then let's go back to his. All right. What did I do with his portfolio? Where is his portfolio? Hang on a second. Oh no. Chiku, I lost your portfolio. Where has it gone? Too many tabs open. Sorry. God. All right. So yeah. Okay. So um maybe if I just go back. No. I actually have it downloaded somewhere. Give me a second. Okay. All right. You know what? I'll just like click once again and open it. Okay, so we're back here. So fundamentally, all the games are here, and here you have something called short resume, right? You have short resume, which is very cool. So he's kind of talked about I'm a designer, mobile designer, AR, VX, AR, VR, XR, and designer for mobile. So he's given a short resume here, and then the coolest thing he has done is actually, you know what? Let me actually play the video of Jiku talking. So, what we'll be doing today, guys, today we'll be talking about all the portfolios. We're going to be talking about design first, and then we'll be talking about programming, and then we're going to be talking about art. And while we are doing that, we're going to actually be having people talking about it. So, now let me do one thing. Let me just share the video of Jiku. Okay. All right. Jiku. Where's your video? Always looking to hire people in your team as game designers to work under you. So disclaimer: this is a recording because Jiku is he's not too well tonight.
If you get a bunch of portfolios,
So this
what
is
do
a
you
recording.
look for? Which are the portfolios which you are gonna get called for interviews? Tell us about what makes a good portfolio. Also, tell us a little bit about a lot of frequent mistakes that you see in designer portfolios, please.
Yeah, good. Okay, number one, not a lot of game designers have good portfolios. So when at least like let's say 100 resumes that come over to me, there's only like 20 resumes will have a portfolios along with it. So number one point that I would actually say is always make sure that your resume, be it a PDF, I mean it definitely has to be a PDF, of course. That PDF should always have a link to your website. So you can probably use Figma to create your own resume and stuff. So make sure this is already covered. When someone clicks on that link and goes to your portfolio, the first thing that they would, okay, 90% of the time, like we may not be in front of our laptops when we get these resumes. So we may be using it, at least me, I'll be using it on my phone. So make sure your website is mobile compatible as well, not just website compatible, like web compatible. I would say like PC compatible. Yeah. So I would probably suggest Wix for this because I've been using Wix and it has been like tremendously good. So if a person uses Wix, I think it automatically converts it to a mobile version as well. It also gives additional controls for you so that you can make it mobile compatible in a better way, however you want it. So number two. Then thirdly, I would rather say On your portfolio, you should always have a link directly to your resume as well. So it has to be both ways round. So I haven't started talking about content yet. I'm only talking about all the things above that. I'll talk to you about content later. So always make sure these three things are mandatorily taken care of. Coming to content, the best that I have seen so far, all of them have a very common layout. They talk about themselves. So basically, everyone knows, right? An interview starts with talking about themselves. So it starts with about me section, one paragraph. What have you been doing? It can basically be the same description that you might have given for yourself in LinkedIn, but I would not suggest you copy paste this over there because that would probably one mistake that they would have done. You copy paste it. I'm like, okay, come on, I've already seen this in LinkedIn. Is there anything new that I don't know about you? So if you're writing anything about me, make sure you don't just copy paste it from LinkedIn, but add something else that I don't know about you. What are your personal interests? What is that makes you do what you want to do? So in my portfolio, if you look at it, it basically it's like a story from my 4 year old to how I've become a game designer when I was 23, 24. So one paragraph on what triggered you, what made gaming as a passion for you. Then comes all the projects that you have done. Now when I say projects, they could be, so now this is for a college outgoing student, right? So I'm assuming there has to be college projects that he has done. There should be any game jam projects that he has done. Game jam project, by the way, has a lot of weightage. And third, there can also be some personal projects that he might be doing. So if the candidate has projects on all these three lines, I'm pretty sure that okay, he has some exposure rather than just being inside a classroom creating projects within their friends. He has gone outside, he has done game jams, because game jams necessarily tells us the reality of game studios, because we often work on crunch times, not every single day, but a person is also evaluated based on how.
Guys, let me try switching uh, to another network. Okay, give me a second. Maybe I can get some better internet there. Give me a second.
He can handle stress, how he can deliver stuff in a quick succession. Everything is so fast moving over here, right? So these three, make sure you guys have it. And if there are multiple projects that goes under each of these categories, make sure that it's like a folder structure. It's not necessarily folders, but you click on it, you go inside, and then you see a list of all other stuff. So make sure you have all these stuffs inside. Now going into each of these project in detail, that is where we will be evaluating you as a game designer. How skillful are you? So over there, what I would want is, number one, the project, videos of your project, not just images. Images, yes, it does speak, but I would definitely recommend gameplay videos. And then you basically have to mention what all have you done in that one single project. Game design is like, there are so many things inside game design, right? You can actually do a narrative design, you can do level design, you could just be creating the game design document over there. Mention all the things that you have done, and most importantly, what was your thought process while you were doing it? So, being someone who's interviewing a lot of candidates, see, most of these candidates coming out of colleges, their thought process are, or their work quality, they're almost the same. What differentiates A from B is their thought process. That is what people like me will be looking at. So make sure you mention that. So, for example, if it's a level design that you have done, right, rather than just putting a tree or a house or XYZ, you basically mention why did you put that house and tree over there? Was there any particular reason that you have done that? How did you manage to take player from point A to point B with just visual cues, using lights or maybe using some other manner? Maybe there are some direction signalers, etc., etc. So your thought process. That is what we would. If you're writing narrations, then why did you take this particular approach in writing that narrations? Because 90% of people just don't read narrations, right? They just skip through narrations. Depends, okay? Depends on the game that we are playing, etc. I'm just talking about free to play games over here. So 90% of the players skip. So what is your approach in doing that? So these are the things that I'd look at. Lastly, contact is very important because we might get these portfolio links not from resumes, because we may not be having the entire contact details about that person. We may be getting just a website link, and we'll go inside and we'll be like, oh, okay, Rahul Segal, yes, he has done all this stuff. Cool. Okay, what next? So that's why I was saying, like, make sure this continues. Make sure that you have a link to your resume, or maybe you have a link to your LinkedIn profile. Oh, lastly, I would also say this. It's always good to have people like legitimate testimonials. So in my portfolio, I have a lead game designer, a lead producer's testimonial about me. It is just like one line. It should does not have to be a paragraph like in LinkedIn. So what he had mentioned over there was whatever tasks you give Jiku, he does better than what's been asked for. That's more than enough. So make sure you have all these stuffs, and I'm pretty sure if a candidate covered all this, then I'm very sure that like I look at it, I'm like, this guy is good. Maybe I should take this forward.
All right. Okay. All right. So that was Jiku. Okay. Jiku, you can find him on LinkedIn. There's only one Jiku. You can find him on LinkedIn. You can see his resume. You can see his website. It's all there. I'm not going to spoon feed you because it's all there on the internet, and I've direct you to it. So don't ask me, can I see his website? Can I see his resume? It's all there for you guys to find. His name is Jiku. Okay. All right. So next up, guys, I'm going to be showing you a very, very cool portfolio. And this is not, I want you, I'm going to show you a portfolio. Okay. And I want you to guess. And I want you to guess how old the person is who made this portfolio. Okay, let's play a guessing game, shall we? Let's play a guessing game. Let's present. All right. Share screen. Share a screen. Chrome tab. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? So this is Ayush. Ayush is a student of G2M. Okay. And now I want you guys. So this is these guys' games. Look at these games, right? These are all his. This is a game made in Gamedev called Arise. It's an action roguelite. There's a role-playing game, there's a simulation game. There is a game here which is actually won BYOG. It is a winner of BYOG to 2021. There is these are this game, all these awarded games. And like I want you to guess. I want you to tell me in the chat how old do you think Ash is? Come on, if you already know. All right. So Ash is in class 12. Okay, Ash is in class 12 and he's something of a prodigy because he joined Game Maker when he was in class 11 and he graduated I think when he was right there. So let me kind of show you his portfolio a little bit more. So I'm going to now click on blue guy. So remember, it's not just when you see a portfolio, especially for design, it's not just about looking. See, firstly, can you see there are GIFs here? You have moving images. So you can actually, for most of the games, you can actually see a little bit of gameplay. Like you can see kind of what's going on. That's very, very important. GIFs are great because instead of having videos on the main page, you can actually have some GIFs and you can click on the game. So for example, let me click on blue guy. end. Now look at it, this is perfect. So what he's done over here is that he's actually described the game from a game designer's point of view. So remember when Jiku mentioned, what have you done, right? So there's a deconstruction background. He's talked about inspiration. He's talked about conceptualization. He's talked a little bit about the ideas that he came up with. His sketches, his design process, right? And I'm not gonna share the okay. Why not? Let's just kind of share the trailer over here. So, okay. Right. Yep. Okay, so he's put a little trailer over here. And now let's speak to the man or the boy himself. Ayush, what's up? You're on mute.
Oops, sorry. Hey, hi.
So hello everyone. Ash, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. I'm a student in 12th grade and I design games. A student game designer is what I call myself. I've been doing it now for close to 3 years. And yeah, that's about me.
Yep. So tell us about your journey. Tell us about Gamer to Maker.
Right. So I started off making board games and then soon shifted to making these video games. Started off with jams because those seemed fun and that really helped. I did that, joined a few internships at studios like Underdogs, and eventually also joined Gamer to Maker because this was the great opportunity that was out there, which was not expensive. So I joined in. I had a bunch of friends whom I got to work with. Arise, which was pretty fun. I did something which I normally wouldn't do, which was make art for the game. Usually,
Yeah,
I do the design
so
stuff
even though
and
he's a game
programming.
designer, Ayush actually made art. He actually learned pixel art and he created the art for Arise, which is pretty damn cool, right? Also, so tell us how long did it take you to make this portfolio?
Oh, particularly this one. I mean, to put things together is like a work of 1 week is max that you'd need. But then there's always things about the design that you can change, something subtle. So not counting that and the fact whatever time it takes you to actually build as in make these games and collect the ones that you like and stuff.
Right.
It'll
So,
take a week to
okay,
put
but
this
of course,
thing together.
making the games is what takes time. Like
Yeah.
putting together the
Yeah.
portfolio is one thing. Of building the game that actually takes years. This is years of work that you've reached till this point, right? Now, also tell us about which website you used for this.
Right. So there's a few options out there. I chose Google Sites. First of all, it's by Google, and so you'll not get wrong there. And it's pretty simple. There's a lot of basic things that you can do, but if you actually want, then you can embed code. So technically, you can also do anything that you could do at completely a website built completely from scratch. So Google Sites is what I used, and it's also simpler because the domain provider that I have is uh, Google domain, so it's pretty easy to link, and I didn't have to pay anything. Google Sites is free, and the hosting is free.
That's cool. And there's no branding on it, right?
Yep, there's
Which is
there's
very
no
cool because
branding.
see, the thing with Wix is that Wix you can get a Wix spot, but there's like really ugly Wix branding on top. It looks horrible. So guys, that's a very valuable tip there. Note kiya jaye Google Sites, right? That's
Yep.
that's great. So it's free and you can look at it like he's actually made that stuff. And of course, Ash is there in G2M. Ash just graduated from the course. And tell us about your future plans. What are you going to do? You're in class 12. Like, what are you going to do after class 12?
Yeah, I'm planning to study design after this, game design, and probably move to US. Got a few universities on my list, Rochester
Nice,
and
nice,
places.
nice. Awesome. So I'm actually helping Ash to about with universities in the US, and of course he has a portfolio. Guys, remember, even if you want to go to US, you need a portfolio, right? If you want to study abroad, you need a portfolio, right? Okay, guys, thank you so much, Ash. Awesome to talk to you, guys. Ash is there. He's a Spartan in the Gamer to Make a survey. If you have questions, ping him. His user ID is
Yep,
Ash
Ash Bada.
Badass. Ash Badass.
You can find me here as well. The contact page has a Discord profile
Yeah,
link
yeah,
as well.
he's there. Okay. All right, Ash. Thank you so much. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great to have you here. Thank you. See you later. All right. All right, now, people, who are the programmers here? Who are the tech folks? Who are the programmers who are looking to build a portfolio? Let me know, because next we have someone very, very cool, a very, very old friend of mine, and an absolute uh, top-notch programmer who's also the lead programming mentor of Gamer to Maker. All right, let's see. Coders, programmers here. Who's looking to actually make an impression as a programmer? All right. So, without further ado, I shall invite Josh. What's up, bro?
Hey man, nice to be here. Hey guys,
Yes.
I've been sitting through the session all along. I think that was some really good portfolio right there from Ayush, right? Really polished one. Like I haven't seen
Yeah.
something
Dude.
like that in a
He's
long
he's
time.
in class 12, right?
Yeah,
He's in class
it's
12.
unbelievable.
I
Unbelievable.
know, right?
I mean,
Like, he's won two
sometimes
game
it's
jams.
almost too at the same time. You want to expect this sort of output, a clean output, that's all, right? In most of the cases, sometimes people suffer just with the basics itself, and that's one of those few things that's extremely disappointing whenever you see job applications, right? So what do we look for at Hammer Play?
Yeah. So
It's pretty simple.
fundamentally, the question is, if you're a programmer, do you, firstly, frankly, do you need a portfolio? Is it nice to have? Do you need it or
It's
not?
a
And
nice.
then it's a nice to have, right?
Yep. So I'll give you like the five things that we look for the most. First and foremost, whenever you send an email or a form, right, make sure you use your real name. Okay. I see at least like 40% of the emails having random game tags. I mean, I appreciate that you guys are gamers, but I want to know who you are, right? Who the real person are you? I should be able to find you Googling it. You just can't be, even doesn't matter how many kills you have in Call of Duty, all of that doesn't actually like make, I mean, you got my interest, I can give you that, but if you don't use your real name, I mean, we're going to turn it down immediately. I have seen one weird email, something like Steady Tiger, like some like cool dude or something like that. Don't use any of that. I mean, use your real proper name. Also, a proper email address. Be professional, right? Whenever you apply for something, you have to be professional. I'm not saying very formal. You can be casual about your text. You can't then also have a decent subject in your email. Whenever you do that, don't give us no subject, right? That's also a huge turn off for us. We just immediately ignore that. If you're not going to say, I'm going to apply for this job, I'm looking for a junior position, I am a Unity developer, or something that's describing you in the subject, right? Potential opportunities in your company for a junior dev or something like that, you have to put it that. Just don't send hi, right, in your subject. It doesn't help. um, then the content of your email should be basically address. You don't have to necessarily mention respected sir, madam, whoever it may concern, all of that. There you can say just hello, comma, and just tell us about yourself right away, right? You don't have to be too formal about it. And then that cover letter, right, that cover letter small snippet should describe who you are, within like 4 lines, right? Within the 4 to 5 lines, you need to get my attention, right away, right? And follow up just with a LinkedIn link right away. So the moment I click on LinkedIn, I can see your testimonies, I can see what age you are, what you studied, everything within like the same template. When you redirect me to see your resume in a much more fancier way, right? Now I'm taking time to read on where your education is, where your workplace is, all of that stuff. But LinkedIn as a template, right? It's already buried in my head. So I know where to scroll right away and look for the information right away, right? But when you have a custom website that just shows your resume, it doesn't help me much. Also, don't use those stars, right? People use um, like Photoshop 3 stars, MS Office 4 stars, and all that. I mean, it's not a rating system. I mean, it's tools known. You just need to mention that. You don't have to use stars and sort of mention how by star rating. This is not a GTA, right? So that's one thing. And make sure if you attach your resume, don't put it as docx. Most of the time we don't have MS Office, especially most of the devs don't have MS Office. um, so we prefer a PDF right away. It's easy to open. I can just view it on my phone as well, so it's much more easier for me. The Like I mentioned, right after the cover letter, I would prefer LinkedIn. Okay, so now that you have introduced yourself, now I know what you did and where you come from, all of that stuff is done. Now I'm going to look at your code, right? Don't make it difficult for me to look at your sample code. Okay, just give a GitHub link right away, have code snippets there, projects already done there. I will just immediately go to the GitHub page, open a script right away, and look at your code. Okay, that's easier for me. If you're going to include a portfolio, that's a huge plus. Like I mentioned, make sure it looks something like how Ayush has done. Give your thought process, give your code snippets. Those things are like plus plus, right? Like, I mean, this is what we expect. If you have a good portfolio, that's a huge plus. If you have a playable game on itch.io or an APK, I mean, we don't download an APK and install. Probably we might send a virus as well. So, I mean, a playable game, if you have it in Play Store, that would be nice as well. Or worst case, you can have a video of your gameplay on your this one, and code snippets here and also in GitHub. That would be amazing. What can go above and beyond is probably like your Stack Overflow presence, right? Or Unity Q&A presence. So those presence I will sort of like Google for you and look what you have contributed. If you have contributed and helped people out, if you have worked in a team along with some game jams with people, along with this portfolio, you're already in here. You should be like starting work right away. So that's we the very next conversation I would probably have with you is a salary topic, or when do you want to start, right? If you have all of those things right away. Okay. And then the common mistake that I usually find is quality versus quantity. Some people think that when I show a lot of quantity, we might get overwhelmed and think, oh my god, they're so good. I mean, we've been in an industry, like just looking at your code for 4 to 5 seconds, I can gauge how good you are or bad you are. Okay, so bombarding me with a bunch of bad code and then showing me some good code somewhere else, I wouldn't have gone that area. So make sure you show me your best work first right away. Because if you're going through like, or even for a HR or any tech lead to go through, right, they would be probably going through like hundreds of applications, right? So you probably have their attention for to 5 to 10 minutes. I'm giving you high number to 5 to 10 minutes, right? Make sure you gauge me or capture me within that 5 minutes, right? So like I said, proper email address with proper name, a good cover letter, a good link to your LinkedIn, a good resume that shows you in a chronological format, LinkedIn account, GitHub or GitLab code snippets, Above and beyond would be an amazing portfolio with your thought process and your game videos and playable demos and your game jams. Game jams sort of show that you worked with your team and you also worked in a crunch or a limited timeline, right? So that's a huge plus for us. Again, quality work should be done. So these are the
So that's a good point, right? A lot of people there are a lot of people who just have a bunch of solo projects, right? They'll watch some internet videos and have like 5 or 10 solo projects, right? And
yeah.
then so tell us about you have a portfolio in which there's someone who's actually made one game uh, with some complexity in a team
That
versus like right versus somebody who's made like 5 solo projects,
yeah,
like
that's
but
a
just
tough
pretty
choice.
much straight. Okay,
Yeah,
3 solo
because
projects.
so this is what happened. We did have some really good programmers join us. I mean, individually they're amazing, but when you put them in a team, right, they just like break down immediately. If you put them on a strict timelines or something like that, I have devs coming from like top companies like Zoho, Ado, like what else did we have? Okay, so yeah, we have some really good programmers there. But when you allow them to work with their team, right, then you start to see their ego issues and all of the stuff, right? So if I say if they worked along with an artist, they've worked along with the designer. I mean, these are like contrasting characters to put together, right? If you work those dynamics out, right, we know for a fact that you're a plug and play right in the inside the studio, because that's how it is day in day out, right? We have conflicts. Artists have completely different opinion of mindset. Designers are the guys who are trying to pull everything together, getting their ideas across, right? And programmers are in a different spectrum, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's how it is, right? So if you see that, right, in a game jam or something like that, you worked with the team, that usually has more weightage than a bunch of solo project, and you might be even a genius for that matter, right? We would have second thoughts about it.
Right, because I mean a lot of people a lot of you might be people who are kind of really clever and know a lot of things, but if you're going to work at a game studio, you have to work with other people, and you may not like those people, you may not like their face, but you still
Yeah.
have to work with them, you still have to smile and say, all right, let's do this, right? So it's very very important for you guys. And I know a lot of you are introverts, right? A lot of people these a lot of people in my course are like introverts, they don't even turn their camera on in classes, right? Like introverted, don't like
Literally
getting on with people,
90% of our studios are introverts, right?
right?
But introverts are good at one thing, using chat applications,
Right.
right? I
Right.
mean, we talk in Slack and like Discord a lot, right? But I have seen introverts when you put them in their things that they like or the things that or they're passionate about, they usually open up immediately, just like that. Otherwise, if I even ask them, how are you, dude? Like, how was your weekend? They'll be like, what? And if I ask them like something about art, then they'll be like, they just won't stop talking about it, right? Uh, I
Right,
mean,
right.
that's how it
Awesome,
is.
awesome. Okay. Also, guys, if you guys remember he said clean code, right? So this is where Josh comes in, right? Josh's job and Josh is a higher level mentor, and we have other mentors who are actually kind of at a more junior level. Fundamentally, in Gamer to Maker, we teach you how to write clean code, good code, game programming, which can actually make you a game programmer, right? So that's Josh's job. So, and he's lead programmer for G2M. And if he can be your mentor if you guys are in the game programming mentorship, right? So I'll be talking a little bit about that at the end of this masterclass. Okay. So once again, you can find Josh on LinkedIn, hit him up. And, if you're in G2M, you'll be seeing him at least once or twice a week. So thank you so much, Josh. I know it's late. I saw your son somewhere there. Is he still there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. He's
He's
just watching
he,
TV, YouTube.
he's watching TV, right? So thank you
I'm
so much, Josh. Have a good night,
I'm
and
glad to
I'll
be
see
here.
you later.
Bye.
Thank you, Josh. All right. So that was Josh. So fundamental. So what I'm going to do is quickly now, guys. We don't have so much time. Um, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a very interesting. I'm going to show you a very interesting tab now. Give me a second. I'm going to show you. Uh, I'm going to show you programming. A programmer's programming tab I'm going to show you a portfolio of a game programmer, right? This is and this can actually, I have a YouTube video on the topic. You can actually see that link there. So if you see over here, this is Molly James. It's a game programmer. Now this is like a god level game programmer portfolio. Okay, so it's home. This is the home page. If you go to the home page, okay, homepage. Come on, can we have the homepage? Okay. So anyway, so if you can see right here, what she's got is, this is a project. She's mentioned. Yeah. Okay. So this is the homepage, and then if you go professional projects, see, that's a nice distribution she's made over there. Here she's talked about the game she has. She talked about what she's used, Unity and C Sharp, and she's written about what she's actually, it's just a little bit. You see, life sim game by Spy Fox, where the players bring color back to a haunted cute island. Like, it's a very very brief description. Apple Arcade, Switch, Steam, Epic Game Store, Xbox One. Right here, she actually has a trailer. Here she has some screenshots, and here, very important, she's mentioned what she's actually done in this program. For a programmer, this is very very important, right? Don't just talk about the game, talk about what you did in the game. Right? She says, gameplay, I program memory match mini game, wrote dynamic skill system, create and iterated on first time user experience, engine, implemented AI free play, tools, wrote unit tests for asset validation, then Ratchet and Clank, right? She's mentioned exactly what she has done here. This one as well, she has mentioned exactly what she did in this game. Again, every single game that she has put, she has a trailer, she has some screenshots, and she's mentioned exactly what she has done in the game, right? And if you go all the way up, you'll see you have a resume, contact, everything is here. And if you scroll to the bottom of the page, yeah, let's go to her contacts. If you go to contact, yeah, as you can see, everything's here. Her GitHub is here, her Steam is here, her PlayStation profile is here, Xbox, Stack Overflow, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, everything. All the links are here, and there's even an email. See, this is really important. When Josh mentioned that, don't just like randomly like not have your contact. It's very important. If someone likes you, they're like, okay, this is how we can contact you. So everything is here: email, LinkedIn, Twitter. So if you want to get in touch with this person, you have many different ways to get in touch with this person. Okay, also a very very important point. Now, all right, so now, last but not the least, tell me who here, yes, LinkedIn is very very necessary. Yes, guys, I will be, by the way, guys, there's going to be after party after this. So I will be, after the live stream ends, I'm going to be on Discord. I'm going to be there for about half an hour. I'm going to come and I'm going to have a casual chat with you guys on Discord for about half an hour. So right after this, we're going to do that. Okay. So why should you add it? Because you're a gamer, right? Somebody asking, why should you add Steam, Epic Store accounts in our portfolio? Because you're a gamer, right? You in India, it's not so much, but abroad, game developers are also gamers. So if you want to see what kind of games they're interested in, add it. Why not, right? Okay, so now let me stop sharing this, and let me. Okay, so who here is artists, right? Tell me in the chat who are the artists and who is looking for art portfolios. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, because we're going to be doing art next. Okay. Of course, you can totally add projects made in a course. It's absolutely no problem at all. All right, now let's get some let's get some art portfolios here. Pup, pup, pup. All right. So obviously, I'm sure you guys, if you're artists, I'm sure you must be looking at like very cool art portfolios all the time and thinking, oh my God, when am I ever going to reach this level? It's quite, I understand that it's quite demoralizing. But remember, guys, if you're an artist, the most frequent mistake I see artists make is not focusing. Not focusing. Now, it's possible that you may be doing a little bit of environment art, you may be doing a little bit of props, you may be doing a little bit of characters, and that's fine. But trust me, if you want to be a game artist, you have to focus on something. Okay, so for example, this person over here, Gavin, is a character artist, and it's very, very clear that he's a character artist. There's absolutely no doubt. So he's got a nice little tab over here, personal work, all, and he's even got his sketches over here, which is cool, you know. Um, so which is kind of not finished, and then you have specific uh, IPs over here, which he's done game art for. Like I said, this is like a god level portfolio. And then he even has his resume right here on top. You can kind of look at his resume. You can download his resume, software proficiency, skills, productions, etc., etc., etc. Right? This and like I said, this is a god level guy. Once again, ArtStation, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, all the links are here. Now I will show you another one now. Right, this is an environment artist called Chris Radsby. He's a lead environment artist. So once again, he has organized homepage, resume, art, blog, and prints. And of course, here he's just pretty much got all his environments here. And like if you, for example, if you click on this one, right away he's got a video walkthrough over here. He's got screenshots. This is a video walkthrough of the level. These are some renders he's got right here, right? And he's talking a little bit about it, right? Using Unreal 4, UE4, and asset packs to teach setting up a scene, etc., etc. So a little bit of description as well. So the one thing I will say about artists is that normally for artists the biggest problem is focus. You need to understand what kind of artist you want to be. Don't have too much stuff. Don't have like character art, one character art, have one car, one prop. Don't try everything, right? I mean, if it's okay to try everything, but in your portfolio, focus on the specific kind of art you want. It's much better to have two good art pieces rather than 10 shitty art pieces. For artists, you have to focus on quality and not quantity, right? For artists, definitely, I would say that a great place to make your portfolio is ArtStation. ArtStation is great. You don't have to have a separate website, right? For programmers, however, I would definitely say that it's nice to have a itch.io page. Okay. All right. So we are going a little bit over time, guys. So now what I'm going to do is that now I'm going to kind of go back to my presentation a little bit. Okay. So to wind up, I'm going to actually give you a few top tips for uh, for building portfolios, right? Give me a second. Okay. So, in the end, let me summarize with a few points which are very, very important. Firstly, remember a portfolio with a released game is much better than a portfolio with no release game. Because remember what Josh said, we as employers, we as studio heads, we at least we want to see that you've actually gone through the process of actually coming up with a game and releasing a game. Now, which is exactly why in Gamer to Maker, we don't just build individual pieces of portfolio. We actually build games which you can release, because it's one thing to actually make an individual piece of art or a little bit of code which you've written for a feature, and it's different when you've made if you have a released game in your portfolio. That's a really big deal, right? It's very important to show that you have worked in a team. If you've not worked in a team, you're going to lose credibility, because when you start working in a team, there might be problems, right? If you have too many solo projects, and that's actually a red flag, right? And lastly, it's very, very important for you to understand the process of 360-degree process of making games, right? Now, it means that it doesn't matter if you're a game programmer or a game artist or a game designer. It's important to understand the other branches of game making. So if you're a game designer, it's important to understand how programming is, how art is. Similarly, if you're a game programmer, you need to understand a little bit about how game design works, how the game art pipelines works. Similarly, for an artist, have an understanding of game design and have an understanding of game art. Now, what I will say is that the reason I'm saying this is because I've actually created a program. I've actually created Gamer to Maker, which is where you are actually going to be building portfolios, right? That's pretty much the whole point. So now, guys, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking, for those of you who are interested, I'm going to be talking about the game design, game art, and game programming courses, right? Now, for those of you who want to talk to me, who have questions about the programs, you are most welcome. You're most welcome to come onto the Discord server after this, in about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll be answering questions about the program. So fundamentally, in Gamer to Maker, you'll actually be able to build a portfolio from scratch with a high quality game, right? So let's talk about game design first. It's fundamentally the only authentic game design course in India. It has 100 plus hours of recorded classes. You have access to master classes on level design, game marketing, and others, free to play game programming. You have access to master classes even on game programming best practices. You have access to live class library of 30 to 40 hours plus. You have templates for documents, exercises, worksheet, cheat sheets for game design, and certificate and recommendation for myself, right? Who is this course for? It is for Ajay, who is doing BTech. It's for, who's tried some stuff. It's for Binoy, who's working in the software industry and who plays games. It is for Charlie, who's a freelance graphics designer and who's tried some stuff, who wants to join the game industry. It is for Diljit, who just finished his class 12 and likes Minecraft and wants to become a game developer. It's also for Anisha, who works in the TV company and wants to be a story writer for games. Every one of these people can come into Gamer to Maker and do the game design program and learn how to make video games, right? All of them can be Spartans, right? Now, the topics covered in game design are game design basics. You come up with a game design idea that works, creating game design documentation, level design, narrative, story design, gameplay progression, user interface design, character design, project planning, production. Now, how does the game design course work? That's what I'm going to explain here. Firstly, at enrollment time, between enrollment time and graduation time, you have 1 year. It's a 12-month program. First, you start off by understanding what you want to do, which means you have a goal setting exercise for determining what goals you have. You have to start doing deconstruction of games. You have to learn presentation skill. You learn the fundamentals. And this is in the first 3 months, and you build your team. Next up, you get into actually making your games. The only way to learn how to make video games is to actually make a game. You'll be doing conceptualization. You'll be doing market research. You'll be doing project scoping. you'll be pitching a concept document, and then you guys will be coming up with your game ideas and making your own games. Then you'll form teams, you'll do your project planning, you'll do your production, you'll do your marketing, and you will actually make games. You will release your games to the world while you're at Gamer to Maker, and that's what's going to go into your portfolio. Okay. Last part is you're going to be building your portfolio, you're going to be building your resume, you're going to be building your LinkedIn, you're going to get a recommendation from me if you've actually finished your course and your project. And then we're going to be helping you guys with placements, because trust me, there is massive demand for placements right now. Fundamentally, we have a game design course, we have a game art mentorship, and we have game programming mentorship. The way Gamer to Maker works is that everyone cooperates. Artists learn how to make art, programmers learn how to write code, and in the end, everyone collaborates and comes up with game projects. Right? These game projects can go into the portfolio of the artists, the programmers, and designers. Right? They're all 1 year programs for now. Right now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Spartans who've been getting jobs. This is Mayank. He just got a job at Play Simple in Bangalore. Really, very good starting salary. He's from the Origins batch. This is a game programmer. This is Pranav. They are both from Origins batch. He's got a job at a really good game company called Longbow Games in Mysore as an associate software programmer. And of course, this guy, very cool dude called Abhishek. He actually did his law, and then he joined Gamer to Maker, and then he got hired at Play Simple as a game designer. Okay, so that, people, is the end of my presentation about this. Now, what we're gonna do? Right. Okay. So, all right, people. So that was about portfolios. That was about the game design program. And now what I'm going to do is at the end of the live stream, I'm just giving me a 5-minute break to go and have a cup of coffee and a snack, and then I'm going to be on Discord. You can see me on the Gamer to Make a Discord server. I'll be there probably in the where am I going to be? Yeah, I'll be in the voice channels just chatting, so you guys can hang out with me. And primarily, if you guys have any questions about the game design programs, so right now all the batches are open. We are actually recruiting. We are the game design program is actually open. It's not open all the time. It's open right now for a limited time only. So you guys are most welcome to come and ask questions, etc. And I will also be giving you feedback on some of the portfolios. Some very selected portfolios, I'm going to be giving you feedback. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. The recording will be available for some time. So before I go, guys, I want to ask you what your takeaways were from the session. What was it in the session that you heard, which kind of like really surprised you, and something you didn't know before or was really helpful? Do let me know in the chat, what was it in the masterclass today that your what was your biggest takeaway from the masterclass today? Let me know in the chat. I would really appreciate it, guys. Ram Kishan, thank you. Prasanta, thank you. Cyan Raven, Navina, Gamedev, Purvesh, Blaze Gonzalez, Arvind, Cyan, Storm Riders, etc. Bruno Schreiber, Google Sites can be used. That was pretty cool, right? Google Sites can be used. Anybody else have any interesting takeaways? Right? Yeah. Portfolio inspirations and what mistakes to avoid. Awesome. What else? Collaboration is a must in game dev. Yes, collaboration is super important, because like Google Sites. Yeah, wow. Looks like a lot of people got as takeaway was Google Sites. Right? Looks like Google gonna have lots of more customers now. Right. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it a night. So come, give me about 5 minutes. Okay, give me about 5 minutes to kind of just take a break, have a cup of sip of water, and then I'll be on the I'll be in Just Chatting there in just a few minutes. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. Oh, by the way, I have a big announcement. Next week is going to be a really, really big event. Okay, it's going to be so in Gamer to Maker we have game pitches. Okay, what happens is that like the Spartans actually come up with their own game ideas and they pitch all the game ideas. And what's going to happen is that next week we'll have an open session where all the Spartans are going to have 2 minute pitches for their game, and it's going to be open to everybody. You guys can come, you can see the pictures of the Spartans for their games, and you guys actually vote and choose which of the games are going to get made. Yes, it's a good time to enroll for the game design program. It's open right now. The batch is usually open for a limited time and is open right now, Arjun Veer. So if you're interested, come on Discord after 5 minutes. You can ask me whatever questions you want. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. Let's go.